What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Ramble, man. Playoffs are here. As I'm recording this, the Lakers Portland Trailblazer game just ended. And come on, dog. You know we had to talk about that game and basically the playoffs in general. Wow. I am super excited, man. Y'all know basketball has been amazing since we got it back. Little FYI. I don't know what I'm putting in the background of these videos anymore because through the first two episodes of the Ramble, the NBA has copy striked the video. So I won't be putting NBA footage because at first when I was talking about Dame Lillard, I was putting Dame Lillard highlights back there because it was cool. The NBA was like, nope, you can't do that anymore, and we're gonna take all the revenue. And you know what? We're gonna put you on this watch list, and if you do it again, we will take those videos down plus any other videos in the future. So that's a dead mission now. I don't know what's going on behind me anymore, but future me have figured that out in editing. So listen, there's a few things we got to talk about. We got to talk about Lakers. We got to talk about Bucks. And then I guess we'll hit on some of the other stuff from day one if it's still on my mind. But what's fresh on my mind is this Lakers-Portland Trailblazer game, okay? So 2 weeks ago when I first started this Ramble series, the first topic I had was about the Portland Trailblazers. And in that, I was like, this is a we believe candidate. This is even before they even had the 8 seed. I just assumed that they were going to end up winning the 8 seed just because they were the best team out there other than the Suns, and then the Suns had to do so much to even get to the 8 seed. So I just assumed it was going to end up being the Portland Trailblazers, and a great assumption from Kenny. I'm not a guy that boasts about like good predictions and stuff because it's inevitable for a guy that talks about basketball for a living. I'm going to be right on a certain amount of things, and I'm going to be wrong on a certain amount of things. So I don't think too much about when I'm wrong, and I don't think too much about when I'm right. That was one thing I was right about. And in that video, I mentioned that the Trailblazers had this we believe candidacy about them. They had a superstar, and they were going to go against a number 1 seed that was struggling. And boy, are the Lakers still struggling. It is absurd the amount of open looks, Danny Green, KCP, list goes on, of these guys, Alex Caruso, the open shots that this team got that they completely miss. Got to the point where Kyle Kuzma, even though he came around towards the second half, was airballing open jump shots. I don't understand how out of the 22 teams that entered the bubble, majority of them saw their field goal percentage go up because of the depth perception, no fans, all of this, right? And the Lakers happen to be a team where their percentages go down, but not even just by 2-3%. They go down by 10%. And when I said that in the first Ramble, people were like, don't worry, Kenny, the playoffs are going to be different. And I was thinking in my mind, how the hell are the playoffs going to be different than the bubble when it's literally the same circumstance? When people usually say the playoffs are going to be different, it's different playoff basketball. That's because the fans' intensity is better and all the other stuff on the surroundings are different, right? Well, in the bubble, the regular season bubble games are the exact same as the playoff bubble games. There's nothing that's really changing other than like some players' mindset might change, but how much did that help the Lakers? So if they were struggling in the bubble right before the playoffs, best believe they were probably going to struggle in the playoffs, and that's exactly what they did. LeBron was good. I mean, he was great. Anthony Davis was good. Sometimes I watch Anthony Davis, and I just wonder, like, is he all there? Especially in this bubble, right? Is he all there, like, engaged? And though he put up a ridiculous stat line, there was, like, periods of time while I was watching him, I'm like, bro, he should be calling for the ball. He should be demanding for the ball. And one thing that is going to hinder him throughout the course of his career, unless he changes it, is the fact that he doesn't want to play the 5. Him playing alongside Joel Embiid, him alongside Joel Embiid would be something special, am I right? Him playing alongside JaVale McGee and then Dwight Howard just closes up the entire floor for him to be the Anthony Davis we know he can be. Just run center. Just do it. Just run center, bro. I understand you don't want to be down there with Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside all the time, but they're going to guard you anyway. Just run center. Just do it. It just blows my mind that the guy that's talented on both sides of the floor just doesn't want to play center full time. It would just make things so much better if they can have him, LeBron, and a bunch of shooters. But no, they have to rely on Dwight and JaVale McGee, who in themselves aren't bad players at all. But again, it hurts Anthony Davis' production. And his production is really good. But if he was freelancing out there as the only big on the blocks, it would be so much better. But I'm getting... This is a ramble, right? I'm going here and there with it. Damian Lillard is just such a spectacular player. That's not breaking any news. We all knew that. We've known that for years. This is like year number 3 of me saying that Damian Lillard is the second best point guard in the league, behind Steph Curry. And Steph Curry was injured this season, so Damian Lillard has been the best point guard in the NBA, and I don't even know how it's arguable at this point. Everything this man has done throughout the season has been dramatically impressive. Think about all the injuries that this team has gone through, and the fact that they were able to not only make the bubble, but go on this run for them to win the 8th seed is spectacular. And a lot of that is due to the duffel bag that this man is wearing on his back. He trusts his teammates towards the end of the game, which is beautiful. He didn't have to drop 60 to beat the 1 seed tonight. That is impressive basketball. Carmelo Anthony looking great. I said they were a We Believe candidate, and bro, I said that because I was rambling and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. Not that I didn't say that. I mean, when we went onto my podcast, I didn't pick the Portland Trailblazers to win that series. I still believe that the Lakers will win the series. But boy, would I like to see them. I would love to see the Portland Trailblazers pull an upset. Just for the story. I mean, there's nothing in it for me. Like, I'm a Bulls fan. Nothing that happens in this bubble impacts me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for Thursday when that lottery comes around. That's when I'm going to be tuning in and heart beating real fast. But just like these games, I don't care who wins. But it would be cool to see another 8th seed win. If they do, though, I can 100% see people starting to put asterisks on this season. Right? If the 1 seed goes out early and then we see some other team that's not a 1-2 seed end up winning a championship, everybody's going to be adding asterisks to this because the 1 seed got eliminated early. We're in the bubble. They missed 5 NBA months of basketball, and understandable, but I can't throw an asterisk on it because everybody was on the even playing field. It's not like the Trailblazers got 5 months off while the Lakers were still in there practicing every single day. No, everybody was on the even playing field. So personally, I can't put an asterisk on it. But I like what Terry Stotts did today. Trailblazer fans, am I crazy? Wayne Gabriel, I've heard him weigh in, and Wayne, I've heard it different ways. Good, impressive thing to start him. Honestly, I thought his defense today was pretty good, all things considered. Again, he was guarding Anthony Davis for a lot of the night, and it's Anthony Davis. You're not going to really stop Anthony Davis for the most part. But Anthony Davis struggled, especially early on, and Wayne Gabriel played a big part in that. Nice energy guy, and I'm like, okay, Wayne. Gary Trent, again, stepped up really good. Other than that one shot in the corner, he hit the top of the backboard while he was wide open. I don't know what the hell that was about. But again, I am still concerned about the Lakers. Even if they get out of this series, the next series will be that 4-5 matchup. And the 4-5 matchup is Houston and OKC, which went down today. And Houston actually just got rid of OKC like they weren't even there. But I am really concerned about the Lakers, whether they get out of this series. I cannot, out of all the teams I've seen, the favorites, Bucks, Lakers, Clippers, the teams that people consider the top 3 teams, none of them were impressive enough for me to think, okay, that's the favorite. I think it's so even out there. And we could even see a team sneak into the finals that aren't one of those 3 teams. You know what I'm saying? Because it is so even out there. So Lakers fans, let me know what you're thinking. Because I know this is a tough L. This is a tough L. Again, it's only game 1, and you're on the road to 16 wins because you want to win a championship. But this is just, I mean, everything just carried over from the bubble. And again, LeBron with his ominous freaking post-game interviews blows my mind. There's something going on off the court that's preventing us from being great. What the hell does that mean? Again, nobody has opened their mouth to tell what is going on with the Lakers right now. I don't understand it. Danny Green tattooed an arrow on his elbow this offseason, and they hit a jump shot since then. I don't understand it. But shout out to the Trailblazers, man. Shout out to the Trailblazers. When we were waiting to see who was gonna win, like end up being in the play-in game, the 8-9 seed matchup, I was heavily rooting for the Suns because I thought, again, if I'm rooting for somebody, it's because of the story. I thought it would have been an amazing story for them to go 8-0, make it into the playoffs, and play in the playoffs at the end of the day. So that last day of the season, when the Trailblazers went against the Brooklyn Nets, I jokingly put on a Brooklyn Nets shirt, which is weird that I even have that. But it was because of that last year's Brooklyn Nets team. That was really fun to watch with D'Angelo Russell and all those dudes. That was fun. So I put that on and tweeted a picture of it. At the end of the day, again, I didn't really care. What a game. What a game, though. So far, the playoffs have been a W. Today was kind of a iffy day. We had a couple blowouts and then a couple close games. I want to talk about the other 1 seed, though, and that is the Milwaukee Bucks. Games like this scare me about the Bucks. Even though a lot of people consider them the heavy favorite to win the East, this first game is just like the reason why I may be a bit hesitant with picking them for even getting out of the East. Giannis is Giannis, and Giannis will do Giannis type things, especially to a team like the Orlando Magic. But what about the other 4 players on the court for him? Nobody showed up. Eric Bledsoe had his moments, but nobody showed up. And this is what scares me about this, because I would love to see Giannis stay in a small market, because if Giannis ends up a free agent and he goes to one of those big market teams, it's a GG for small markets forever. It's not that much you can ask from them, right? They drafted you late in the lottery or right outside the lottery. They tried to build a perfect team around you, and that still was not enough to keep you here. But if let's say, I don't, hypothetically speaking, the Bucks don't make it to the finals in these next couple years, I can't look at Giannis leaving and be like, man, he gave up. I can't. The Milwaukee Bucks, for the most part, have put together an amazing roster around him. But we have these games like this where your second best player, Chris Middleton, puts up a complete dud. And I'm damn near the captain of the Chris Middleton fan club. He stunk. And he didn't look like the second best player on the team. He didn't like the third best player on the team. He didn't like the fourth best player on the team. And games like that scare me. And I think that the Orlando Magic had nothing to lose. People were on Twitter was joking about like home court advantage. I think that's funny. They had nothing to lose, and they played like it. And the Bucks played like, hey, we're the 1 seed. We're not afraid of y'all. And though they shouldn't be afraid of them, they didn't play like they wanted to be there. They played like, hey, we're supposed to get these calls, and we are more talented than y'all. So we're not going to hustle. We're not going to hit the glass. We're not going to defend like we've been defending all season long. Bro, to give up that many points to the Orlando Magic is laughable. And the Magic, for the most part, have been a pretty good offense since the restart. But you get what I'm saying. You are the number 1 defense in the league by far, and you got absolutely washed by the Orlando Magic. Vucevic was unstoppable. Shout out to Markelle Fultz. Now, that was fun to see Markelle in his first playoff game doing some of the stuff he did, hitting threes, being athletic, doing the Markelle Fultz type thing. Still have not gave up on Markelle at all. But it scares me. If I was a Bucks fan, I would be just kind of scared about the impending Giannis free agency, right? Because there's a couple things that is on your side and a couple things that aren't on your side. One of the things that aren't on your side is that Giannis only really knows Milwaukee, right? And I guess you could probably spin that into a positive as well. But you got that man fresh off the plane from Greece. You know what I'm saying? The boy only visited L.A. a couple times, and that's when they're going to play in L.A. Imagine when he's doing that tour as a free agent. He's going to go into one of those big markets and be like, wow, this is what the Staples Center. Now, I'm not saying that the Lakers getting Giannis, but you know what I'm saying? One of those bigger market teams, he's going to be like, wow, I can see myself playing 40-plus games here a year because it's the Staples Center. And the Bucks fans ride hard. That new arena is beautiful and everything, even though I ain't been there just yet. But it's something different about those big market teams. I'm being honest with you. You know, it's something about those like the Mecca. The Knicks are not going to sign Giannis. And somebody save this clip, because in 2 years they do, then that is the craziest thing ever. But the Knicks are not going to sign Giannis. But it's something about Madison Square Garden that every single player loves. It just so happened that the owner sucks, so that's why nobody signs there. But it's something about those teams and those markets, especially like Kevin Durant talked about this before on a podcast. I don't know what the hell I listen to. Kevin Durant talks a lot when you give him a microphone. KD, come talk to me, bro. We got microphones around here. But he talked about one of the reasons him going to the Warriors is not just for basketball reasons. I know people on here hate KD. I'm not one of those people. But he also talked about him going to the Warriors to increase like his business opportunities, because you're basically Silicon Valley. I'm tripping. Silicon Valley, and that's where all the investors are. And if you want to make money outside of your profession and you got money already, that's the place to be. And I don't know if Giannis has those opportunities in Milwaukee. And those are the type of opportunities you get if you move to New York. And I know that from firsthand. I was this close to moving to New York for business, for work. You know, so I know the opportunities that can open up from even a small guy like me. I can't imagine what it opens up for a guy like Giannis. You know? So I hope that he just ends all of the speculation next season. He comes out, give me that Supermax. It's over. Don't talk about me going to the next team. Don't Photoshop me in the next team uniform, because that would make me happy for the small market teams, because so far the small market teams have caught a lot of L's in the past decade or so. And I guess for the entirety of basketball, no, I would just say new age basketball. Because the older guys, 80s, 90s, those guys weren't really moving teams. You were just, wherever you got drafted, you're spending 20 years there, bucko, to get used to it. But the new age, players have the freedom to move around. And I love that. I love the freedom to do it. I just wish that the smaller market teams did a little bit more to keep teams around. But even then, that seems like I'm blaming Milwaukee when Milwaukee has pretty much done everything that they could in their power. If they end up not winning a championship or getting to the championship or whatever they deem as an unsuccessful season, Giannis has to walk into that front office and say, I need a star. Chris Middleton is a good all-star caliber player, do not get me wrong. But can he be a 2 on a championship team is what I'm questioning. You know? Could he be a 2 on a championship team is the real question. Could he be a 3? I bet he could be an amazing 3 on a championship team. But as a 2? It's kind of questionable in my eyes. So I don't know what the world looks like for them to trade for a guy. I keep seeing on Twitter and on Bleacher Report, even though Bleacher Report puts out a lot of shit articles about trades, them trading for Chris Paul. And I love Chris Paul, bro. Even today, even though they got blown out, I was mesmerized by his performance and things like that. I don't know how much Chris Paul puts them over the hump. It gives them a floor general, something that they need for sure. But are we sure that Chris Paul is going to be even as good next year as he is this year? A whole nother year under his belt? I don't really know. He is vegan now. And everybody I've talked to that have turned vegan says that that's the healthiest they've ever felt. And that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been injured this season. He's vegan. Veganism. That is crazy to me. Just cutting out meat can dramatically change things. It's not something I would ever think about personally. All right, so last thing I want to talk about is the Bulls. I got 16 minutes into the video before I talked about the Bulls' new record. Or maybe I did mention them earlier. I have no idea. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Yo, that first ramble video when I don't want to say ramble. I mean, I don't want to say viral. But kind of viral on Twitter, viral to the extent, I mean, I wasn't getting hundreds of thousands of retweets / likes, but viral to the extent that a lot of NBA players and teams saw that video. And one of the people or teams that saw it was the Chicago Bulls. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, Jen from the ticketing, they had her record a video. They had her record a video where she invites me to be one of the people that throws the T-shirts to the crowds once the season starts, dog.
Hey, Kenny. This is Jen with the Chicago Bulls. Sorry I missed your call on Friday. I heard you have a special talent for launching T-shirts. So, I'll make you a deal. Once things get back to normal and we're playing at the UC again, I promise you a spot for a game on our T-shirt launching team. That's Jen. Promise.
That 2-minute ramble of me about the season tickets for the Bulls got me to the point where one game this season, I will be a certified T-shirt thrower. What a W. Like, I could have never expected that from that ramble video. So shout out to the Bulls. I mean, they fired Jim Boylan and immediately everything changed about their organization. They start commenting on my YouTube videos, Instagram, Twitter. Like, bro, hello? Big W's. Between me and you, I'm going to leave it at that, actually. I cannot. That is too much information for the public to know at the moment. But best believe me and my team, my management team, are working with other stuff. And if y'all see a brother somewhere you weren't expecting to see him, just be on the lookout and get your phones ready and take pictures and tweet them at me is what I'm saying. Is there anything worth rambling about yesterday? Brett Brown sucks. It's something that's pretty much a consensus around the world. I have not seen one person tell me that Brett Brown was a good coach. And I have a little hope for people now, you know, because Brett Brown, God, watching him coach yesterday's game made me super upset. He has one of the most talented centers we've ever seen in basketball and didn't drop a single play for him in the second half. I don't understand it. So there's that. I wish Gordon Hayward didn't suffer that ankle sprain because he was having such a good season. And it does hurt them a little bit, maybe even more than a little bit. He's actually a very talented player, obviously. Okay, I think that's all I got. I think I got it all off my chest. I like trolling people on Twitter. So please stop taking all of my tweets super serious. Please, please, please. It just makes it unenjoyable for me. Thank you.